This is Wan Lin on her 25th birthday, but it's not the main point because Wan Lin is just the host body for the Corentine. And today is the Corentine's birthday. You might be wondering, what the heck is the Corentine? Is it some sort of disease? Well, it's actually this pure green light, blazing fire of life force, like a spirit orb that crashed into Wan Lin's body just a few days before her 25th birthday, where this video was filmed. And in the morning, Wan Lin gets up, she does her little pigtails, and she wonders, why the fuck am I so tired? Well, it's actually because the Corentine has been inside her body dormant for a while, and at night, it crawls out of her throat from her mouth, and it hangs Wan Lin's body upside down from the rafters of her little Parisian apartment, and starts chewing away at her body, like eating, nibbling bits by bits, and replacing parts of her with itself. And the Corentine plans to eventually take over Wan Lin's entire body because, you see, she needs a vessel to incarnate into this life. And she thought, hey, look at this little Asian girl. She's pretty cute. She's decently, pretty healthy, able-bodied. Draws pretty well. I think this is gonna work. So let's go possess her. So in the morning, from Corentine's point of view and Wan Lin's point of view, she likes to fill her mini water can and go to water her plants. Now, the plants on the windowsill, those are all the boy plants, because we all know that boy plants, they don't have flowers. We just eat them, and they stay outside and drink tap water. And we're grateful for them. Like, the boy plants, they make you feel good because they make you feel needed. You take care of them, but they're kind of gnarly looking. Wan Lin named these 3 plants Bob the Basil, Tony the Thyme, and Andrew the Mint. They're all dead by now, but it's fine. It was good for the video. So Wan Lin waters her cute little plants, and then she knows that she also needs to water her indoor plants because indoor plants are the pretty girl plants. They give off white cat energy from Tom and Jerry. They have the cute flowers. They get the filtered tap water. And here Wan Lin goes to turn off her lights at her cute little table with her silly little drawing. This is not the Corentine's drawing because the Corentine knows that she's making fucking amazing art. This is just a little practice, This is part of the process. So Wan Lin goes out with Corentine inside her body and walks down Rue de Seine off to go hunt for some food because it's important to eat to stay alive. And she passes the Académie de France to go across the Pont des Arts to go to the right bank, and Corentine is laughing inside of Wan Lin's body because Corentine is imagining herself someday in the future with her academician sword from the Académie Française, duh, and she wonders what she's going to do with that sword. Corentine plans on getting that massive toothpick whale harpoon from Moby Dick style sword and just putting a giant marshmallow on top of it and then roasting it over her Cire Trudon mega candles and then eating that as the most tastiest elite s'more ever. So, Wan Lin walks through the newly renovated Pont des Arts, and it used to be really rickety and there were beams falling off and it was super sketchy, especially if you like to wear cute heels like her. And Corentine, well, ever since Corentine has been taking over Wan Lin's body, Wan Lin has been feeling very uncomfortable wearing flat shoes, even if heels make her feet bleed. It's like a type of good masochism. And she crosses the sign that says, "Don't wait to be happy to smile, smile so that you can be happy." And Wan Lin slowly begins to realize that God is actually talking to her through signs of random phrases on strangers' t-shirts and clothes, or signs in public on billboards and advertisements. Not that you have billboards in Paris, unless if it's in front of the Louvre or something. And God likes to talk to her also through random library books. Open up a page and voila, there's your incoming chapter of your life. Anyways, Wan Lin looks very happy, cute, and Corentine, this green fire inside of her slowly waking up on this 25th birthday. They go together, pass by this flower shop and realize, oh, how beautiful, because we all know that girls and women love flowers. It's like the female version of not all men, but. It's like, not all women love, but yeah, all women love flowers. Shut up. Anyways, Wan Lin, going strong on her 1 month of being vegetarian because she's nice, she walks past this rotisserie shop and Jinx is up. Corentine sees the roasted barbecue ribs. She sees the sausage in a coil, and you know what? It's game over. Game over. She walks in and buys a bunch of barbecue, then goes to the vegan donut shop because that totally makes up for her ending her vegetarian lifestyle subscription. Now, this is called a place called Bone Shaker Donuts in Paris, and Wan Lin, well, she sits at her little table and she eats her little cinnamon sugar donut, and she doesn't really care if it's weird to take a video because, the Corentine tells Wan Lin that shame is completely useless. Shame is a very limiting emotion, especially if you're a genius artist, because shame is just that little pathetic version of an emotion that's actually useful. For example, regret, remorse, that's actually useful. That teaches you how to be a human being. Shame, no. Shame just boxes you in to be a smaller version of your best self, best authentic self. So no, we don't give a fuck about shame. And there she goes eating her little donut, enjoying her high metabolism, because now there's at least like 4 or 5 people living inside her body, including the Corentine, another centuries-old vampire queen, and another is a middle-aged Bavarian man who likes to collect stuff in his wine cellar that doesn't have any wine. Anyways, she has to eat for all of these people living inside her body, And it's kind of miraculous because Wan Lin remembers back when she was in boarding school, she would eat like 1 popsicle for an entire weekend and faint in the middle of the night in her dorm room because she was so fucking hungry. But now, the magic, the beauty of life is in its changes. So here she is eating whatever the fuck she wants in her dream body. Yeah, some things cannot be explained by science, only by magic and art. Anyways, she thought, this donut is not enough, so we're going to go to another bakery and get some cupcakes and cookies. This is a place called Stony Clove Bakery, and she wanted some cupcakes, and we all know that French bakeries, they don't do cupcakes, really, and she wanted cupcakes. Wan Lin, especially ever since she's been possessed by the Corentine, knows exactly what the fuck she wants, and she goes to get it. So she wants cookies, she's going to get cookies. And here she found some beautiful little spooky cookies with ribs and eyeballs and all of those different weird drawings. So she thought, I'm gonna eat them. Yeah, because if your food is cute, so are you. You are what you eat. Tu es ce que tu manges. It's kind of true, yeah. And then she also got some cupcakes. And as she's loading up on all of these sweets for her birthday, she likes to think back on all of her past birthdays. And birthdays are sort of pivotal moments for every person's life, right? And she remembers a very specific moment on her maybe 17th or 18th birthday, sometime in high school, at boarding school, when she was in the grips of a food addiction because she was recovering from anorexia. She remembers hiding alone in her room, eating from a Tupperware, and usually she didn't let herself eat any normal meals, only like diet yogurt or some stupid shit. But on that day for her birthday, instead of a cake, she had some pulled pork, salad, and baked squash from the dining hall. And it was the most beautiful meal ever. It was better than a birthday cake because hunger is the best sauce. Anyways, let's talk about something happy. So here is Wan Lin, aka Corentine now, with her little box of barbecued ribs. The weather is beautiful, and she also got a bunch of fruit candy. She totally ate 1 from each package because that is her definition of being rich, being able to eat 1 piece of different flavored candy from each package of candy. And so now that she's had her candy, because she always eats dessert first, she's going to pick apart some of these barbecued ribs. And this goes back to a very specific memory from boarding school, when after 1 entire weekend of not eating jack shit, she was like, at this point, Wan Lin's hair was falling out, and she was cold all the time, and she couldn't sleep for shit, even if she took 10 milligrams of melatonin, is it? Yeah, that doesn't even exist in European pharmacies. Well, she would be so hungry. She was so hungry one day in her dorm that she ordered a full rack of pork ribs, barbecued pork ribs, from the fancy restaurant down the street in her little rural area where this boarding school was. And when she got the ribs, she ate all of them after literally starving on and off for weeks and months. And afterwards, she felt so sad because she was quote-unquote vegan. But it's like not a real vegan even. Wan Lin, the type of vegan she was like the fake anorexia vegan. Anyways, you know, the type that hides an eating disorder or uses it as a crutch for some sort of mental restriction. Anyways, that's far in the past, but still, these pork ribs have significance. You'll see why. Because after she ate all these pork ribs, she gathered the little bones in the little plastic box. And she felt so sad because she felt bad for the little piggy that she just ate. And so she was standing in front of her dorm room mirror, and she saw her own ribs sticking out from her skin, and it looked just exactly like the pork ribs in front of her on the floor in this box. And she felt so sad because she had been hurting herself the same way that the little piggy, the little animals had been hurt in the past. You know? Just for someone's comfort. Because who benefits from you or anyone feeling bad about their body? It's just so that they can sell you clothes or makeup? Or who benefits from hurting an animal just so they can sell off your meat? So much pain in the world just to get something out of human beings. And then what's sad is that people let them. People let them. Animals don't really have a choice, but people, they let them. Anyways, Corentine took this box of little, Wan Lin, with the Corentine dormant inside of her, all the way back then, she took this little box of pork bones, went down to the woods of her boarding school on that property by the lake, and then it was early in the morning, very cold, and she dug up this little hole in the earth next to the lake, and she buried the pork bones inside and covered up the dirt with a little circle of rocks and put some flowers on it, some wildflowers. And she said a little prayer for the pork bones. And she said a little prayer for herself. And ever since then, she glowed up into one fire metabolism, hot, beautiful. Actually, no, hot is too cheap a word for a beautiful, beautiful person. Though hot is a nice word, but in this context, it's too cheap a word. She changed from that day on after she said the little prayer for the pork bones and for herself. And so this comes full circle with the barbecued ribs. And now Wan Lin, she's sitting at her little table doing her little silly drawing for some cafe. And this is just a part of the process because the Corentine inside her knows that this little drawing, it's not really significant. Not in the immediate sense. This is just a stepping stone to the great motherfucking pieces of art, the seminal shit that's going to come from her later. Wan Lin hasn't fully woken up yet. The Corentine hasn't fully possessed Wan Lin's body yet, but she's getting there, and it's coming out slowly from her fingers, from her hands. And anyways, Corentine looks at Wan Lin doing her fun, silly little drawing that doesn't really matter, but still does matter in the grand scheme of things because it's a stepping stone, and she goes out to meet her beautiful friend, Nora. Nora is a fucking human angel. Nora is a goddess, a bunny, a sweet, like a literal model. Also, valedictorian of her class, studied business marketing, and the sweetest human being ever. There are people on this earth that are just balls of light, where if you can befriend them, especially as a beautiful girl amongst beautiful girls, then your beauty amplifies like mirrors, like Tibetan monks chanting amongst one another, and you can literally lift the rocks and do crazy voodoo ass shit. So you go find people like that and befriend them, and then magic starts to happen. So here, Nora's taking Wan Lin with the Corentine inside on this beautiful little date where they take photos. They go on a picnic. They share snacks. They walk next to each other on the crunchy, yummy little gravel of the Jardin du Luxembourg. Everything is hunky-dory. And Wan Lin, well, the Wan Lin, she has decided she is very strange, and part of it is the Corentine. And for example, she likes to talk to her umbrellas. She collects fancy ass umbrellas, like this one with a snake that she got from Smith & Sons in London. It's dark green and has little yellow eyes. And what's wonderful about this umbrella is that it's super light. It has a beautiful golden tassel, and she's very good at tying tassels. Hee hee hee, not because she likes Araki, but because she likes fucking tassels, okay? Anyways, this little green serpent is named Sidley, and she takes Sidley and goes to a bubble tea date with another friend, a beautiful angel, Anna, who brought her amazing flowers. You know, we all like to say, I can buy myself flowers. Yeah, but I'd rather someone buy them for me, you know? That's part of the truth. Let's just all admit that. And when you have beautiful friends that treat you like a princess, well, they would do nice things like that for you. So here, Corentine and Wan Lin, in that same body, are joined by their lovely friend, Anna. Anna is a painter, a wonderful artist that Wan Lin met at art school at the École des Beaux-Arts in the painting class of Madame Pascale Accoyer. She's an amazing conservationist. Painting conservationist, right? That's the word. She's worked on paintings of Basquiat in big museums, and she's a very interesting blue-eyed entity lady. Anyways, Wan Lin, because her love language is gifts, and Wan Lin and Corentine both sort of believe that love languages are a scam to make you think that you should only pick a few out of all of them, because love languages, like her love language is all of them. But you know, gifts are pretty important because she grew up as a first-generation immigrant. If you know, you know. Anyways, Anna got Wan Lin for her birthday this beautiful little surprise, and you might be wondering, what the heck is it? And Wan Lin brought a spooky cookie for Anna, her friend, because Wan Lin loves giving things, you know? She's realized over these 25 years that anything that you give sincerely, authentically, and with generosity always comes back to you tenfold. And that is very, very true. So here she's enjoying her grape bubble tea from this place called Blue Tea, and she likes it because the lady there is very nice. And she opens, what is it? It's a portrait! It's a portrait of herself from the point of view of her friend Anna. And Anna said something very interesting. She said, well, if your nickname is princess, then princesses and nobility all have portraits of themselves. So it's the most normal thing. And Wan Lin totally agrees. And here she is slowly opening the gift, and she's thinking, well, all of these wonderful things that happen on her 25th birthday, 5 times 5. 5 is the magical number in her life. Why? Because 5 is a life path number. 5 is the same life path number as Lana Del Rey. And how does Wan Lin know this? It's because Corentine whispered in her ear that something with Lana Del Rey. There is something you have in common with Lana Del Rey. And then she thought, maybe Lana Del Rey is a 5 life path number, someone who travels a lot, who does a lot of different things. And then she discovers, well, her life path number is a 5. So surprise, not surprise, sometimes you gotta listen to your intuition, because intuition is a superpower. Intuition is a smell, it's a feeling. It's something before it's made visible. And here, Wan Lin also received 5 beautiful pink Caspari birthday candles with violet perfume. And intuition is a lot like a perfume, a smell. Intuition is exactly like a smell because Wan Lin remembers. In the past, when the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris burned, she was there. When she walked across a pool of blood on Rue de Seine, one morning, on her hot girl walk, she smelled the blood before she looked down and saw the pool of blood all over the cement. It was probably from two guys that were fighting, you know? It was a Saturday morning, and the night previously, two men probably fought there and beat each other up and left a huge pool of blood. And she smelled the iron in that blood before she looked down and saw it. It's the same with the Notre Dame fire, because she was jogging along the Seine, just hunky-dory, very happy, and then something fell in her eye, and she started smelling ashes. She looked up, and there was a huge fire on the Notre Dame, just like a painting of Turner's Parliament burning over the Thames River. So, Wan Lin has learned from life and from the Corentine inside her that you should always trust your intuition, because intuition, it goes beyond your sight into the realm of vision, and artists work from this unseen world. Very frequently, you learn a lot from it. So here, Wan Lin on her 25th birthday, enjoying all those flowers, knowing that her apartment is exploding with flowers. It's a very nice problem to have. Sometimes you have problems that you really, really enjoy. For example, oh my gosh, I'm always hungry and I just can't eat enough and it just disappears and I'm rapidly losing weight. Help. That's a good problem to have. Oh my god, my apartment's exploding with flowers. I have too many. I don't have enough baccarat vases to fill all of these flowers I'm receiving. That's a good problem. So here, the Corentine is looking at the Wan Lin, very proud that she finally gets to awaken inside this host body. So stay tuned for the next episode of the CORENTINE SHOW. Bye!